about that.
That's what makes it so awesome. That's what makes your methodology here so stellar. Giving you a focus and giving you a forward motion. I continuously get myself stuck in doing 7 different things at once. No one can do 7 different things at once. I'm sorry. No matter how hard you try, I've tried, it doesn't happen. It allows you to offer yourself some space to do one thing at a time.
In this episode, Sherry from Molalla, Oregon, seeks relief from stress. I suggest to her developing a spiritual practice, but man, oh man, is she crunched for time. She's running multiple businesses, earning a degree, on top of trying to work out, trying to spend enough time with her humans. Listen in as Sherry and I tackle real life problems with real life solutions. Here we go. From Maui, Hawaii, I'm Lucky, and this is Quiet Your Mind Chatter. Aloha, Sherry. How's your day been going?
Great. And you, Lucky, how is yours?
Really, really good too. Thank you. I would love to hear you share about a victory in your life. Something kind of small. Here on the island, we say small kind victory. What is something in your life that has gone well lately?
Winning over customers.
Yes, winning over customers. That feels good when that happens.
Yeah. Especially a new one that could actually be really, really fruitful in the future.
Congratulations. My small kind victory, I am blessed to live in a condo that has a pool, a heated pool. Doesn't sound like we maybe need a heated pool here on Maui, but even on Maui, it's nice to have a heated pool.
Right.
And I've been living here for going on 6 years. A key is required to get into the pool area. And I finally learned which way to turn the key. That's my victory. I always
That's an
just put it
awesome
in
victory.
and try it to the right, try it to the left. And I finally clicked. I think I've been present enough to realize if I learn this, I can do it more efficiently every time. And the last 3 times I went in the pool, I turned it to the left, which is the correct way.
Yay, good for you.
That's my victory.
I
Well,
always say celebrate small victories. That's awesome.
yes. Then we celebrate more often, right? Well, Sherry, thank you so much for being here with us. Tell us, first of all, where you live, what your weather is today, and the challenge that we're going to tackle today together.
I live in Molalla, Oregon, which is about 40 minutes south of Portland. The weather today is partly cloudy. It's supposed to be like 75 degrees, so it's going to be a nice day.
Nice.
I one thing I want to do is be able to get out more with my camera and go take some pictures around town because my company is Spotlight Around Town, one of them, and I want to be able to show off more of the town. What are we tackling today? Lowering stress.
Sounds good. And you and I had talked a little bit before we started recording about your morning routine. So you wake up most mornings and then you do what?
So I watch the news on YouTube usually while I have my coffee, and then do a workout and when I can, and then get the birds up and start working. And it's just not very. It leads watching YouTube and the news and trying to keep up with my political action stuff. First thing in the morning does not set off for a good day.
Gotcha. And before we dive into that, I got to hear about your birds. Tell me about your birds. What do they look like? What are their names?
So the birds are Munchkin and Buster. So
Munchkin and
Buster
Buster.
Buster is a Quaker parrot. He's 24 years old. They live to be
Wow.
30, so I call him my geriatric bird.
That's
Except for
awesome.
he's super strong. We live in a townhome, and he likes to go hang out downstairs, but his house is here upstairs. So he'll fly up and down the stairs, and he's like an old bird, and he's just all about it. He's really strong. Munchkin is an Amazon. She's a blue front Amazon. She is 27, and they'll generally live to be between 40 and 80 years old, depending.
Wow.
I've seen where birds of that breed live to be 75 and 80 years old. And then that's pretty much the end of their life. She is awesome. She can't fly. She's got inverted wings. But she talks up a storm. She sings, and she's really smart, and she's a neat little friend.
Well, they sound like good company. And I'm guessing that when you're spending time with them, they're lowering your stress. So you already have some good wellness tools in place.
Sometimes the other day after we talked earlier, I had Buster on this shoulder and Munchkin on this shoulder. Munchkin chews on my clothes and Buster chews on me. So I was having a really challenging time. It was like, you guys, enough. And so I went and put them on their cages.
Gotcha. Gotcha. You have good boundaries. Good boundaries.
Yeah,
I like that.
sometimes they raise my stress level.
Well, very good. Well, hope today's one of the stress lowering days with you and your critters.
Right.
I have a suggestion for starting a spiritual practice in the mornings.
Awesome. Love to hear it.
You get up and you turn on the news, and it's great to stay informed, but I'm guessing that will wait. If you start a spiritual practice and you do that first thing every morning, and then you turn on the news, you'll still be informed. You'll still be able to be effective in changing the world in whatever way that you intend to, or whatever the way God intends to use you in this wonderful world we call Earth. I suggest taking, just to start, 5 minutes. You get up, do minimal whatever you have to do, and then get your timer. I like using a kitchen timer. A phone timer is okay, but then a lot of times we get drawn into the phone. So kitchen timer if you can.
That's a good idea.
Or if you are using your phone timer, turn it on airplane mode.
Okay.
And then for 5 minutes, do spiritual things. Maybe journal for 3 minutes and meditate for 2 minutes. And meditating can be focusing on your breath. It could be looking at an image, your favorite picture in your house. You could look at your birds, you could look out your window, whatever works for you. And then just a little bit of time of journaling. You can have affirmations that you're journaling. I love my life. I have agency. I am open to divine possibilities. Or you can just stream of conscious, whatever comes up. But you're taking 5 minutes every day, just at the beginning, to sit quietly, and you're not really necessarily trying to stop your thoughts, because that can be stressful to me. Is, oh, I'm meditating and I keep thinking and I'm doing it wrong. Whatever you're doing, you're just sitting there quietly for a couple of minutes, and then you're writing maybe even just 1 or 2 sentences of journaling.
When I've meditated in the past, because I have tried this on and off, I get a little direction focus right here. Like, this is where I'm supposed to focus, and anything that's coming
On
into
your
this space.
on your forehead. Sherry, this is a
Yeah.
podcast, not video.
Oh, yeah.
She's pointing to her forehead.
Yeah, it's in the middle of my forehead.
There we
And
go.
it's like spiritually things come in or go out. It flows back and forth. It's the weirdest feeling.
Hold on to your sun hat. We're taking a quick break. I love helping people. That's why I became a personal coach. Actually, I was called by HP, my higher power, to be a coach, which you can hear about in the episode Divine Grace and a Sense of Humor. If you are looking for a coach to find some direction and support, then I'm your gal. Maybe, or maybe not. I don't really know. I can't predict the future. I'm busy trying to stay present in the moment. But if you want to check out my coaching options, there's a quick video on my website with more information. That's at wellnesswithlucky.com. Tell me about your experience with meditation. How old were you when you started? Did you have teachers?
I have on and off. I've done counseling on and off all my, pretty much all my life. But in my late 20s, early 30s, when I went back to college, I started meeting some people who were more spiritually aware and started talking with me about meditating and stuff. So I've done that on and off. I have never been very diligent about it, but there is time and space in instances in my past that I have taken it as a way to lower my stress.
How do you feel after meditation? Do you have an effect, a positive effect right after you meditate and or throughout the day or throughout the week? What's been your
It
experience?
sets off my day. I have to, that's something that, like I said, I haven't been real diligent about it because I noticed that on days when I do it, it sets off my day really well, but I can't seem to get myself disciplined enough to do it every day. It used to be because I worked out an hour to 2 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week for 18 years,
Wow.
and nothing in the world stood in my way of doing that. That was my time because I was working full time, going to school full time, and raising 3 kids. And that was my time. That was the only time I had to clear my head and work out and be physical, that would set my day off. Well, I ended up in 2011 becoming very overwhelmed with life in general, and I stopped working out. And within 6 months of quitting that routine, I was on anxiety medicine. I went into severe depression for 18 months, and I had a lot of issues that all of a sudden arose because I stopped working out largely. So I've been integrating that back in. It's very hard when you've been out of the routine for many years to just jump right back in. That's been a struggle. So that is something I want to get more success in.
Kudos to you for getting back up and trying again, even though it's not easy.
No, it's not. And you beat yourself up, which is the thing that we all need to stop doing.
Maybe during your journaling time, you can write for 2 or 3 minutes positive affirmations to yourself. I approve of myself. I'm working out again. I'm taking steps toward my well being.
That's a good idea.
And when you start with those thoughts at the beginning of your day, and then you're working out and it's only for 20 minutes instead of 2 hours, you can, instead of beating yourself for only 20 minutes, you can say, I'm
Yay.
doing 20 minutes. Yahoo, good for me.
Yay. Yeah, I've been trying to do that lately.
Yes, I love it. So let's pick a number of days. So you're going to spend 5 minutes with a timer, journaling, meditating every day for how many days? 3 days in a row, 7 days in a row? What's a good short term goal? Definitely doable, 100% doable goal.
So short term is probably 3 to 4 days
Okay.
in a row.
Okay. Let's keep it simple and go for 3 days.
3 days. Okay.
So starting tomorrow, you get up, you do minimal, whatever you need to do, and then sit down with that timer. 5 minutes. When it goes off, you give yourself a pat on the back. I actually do that when I swim. When I swim and it feels like I am not doing good enough, maybe I'm not swimming long enough, or maybe I'm trying to be present and I keep thinking about my to-do list. When I'm doing the backstroke, I will physically take a second during my backstroke and pat myself on the head and say, good job. And the next backstroke, good job, and pat myself on the head. A
Nice.
physical, we're using our bodies and our minds and our spirits for well being. It seems goofy, but it is goofy and it makes me laugh and it reminds me to have a sense of humor and I don't have to be so serious. So once you get done with your 5 minutes, don't say, oh man, I should do 20 minutes. Pat yourself on the head, say, good
Yeah.
job. I did 5 whole minutes.
When did you start swimming? What got you into doing that? Do you do laps?
I have always loved swimming. I grew up in Ohio, and my friends and I would ride around our bikes on the summer and salivate over our neighbors with the pools. I never hardly ever got to swim. And then I had the opportunity to move to Maui 8 years ago, and I've been in the water not every day, but pretty darn close. When
Right
the
on.
ocean is calm and clear, I'm in the ocean, which is today. When the ocean's not conducive for swimming or not safe, then I'm blessed to have a pool that I can do laps in.
How many laps do you do usually?
Between 5 and 15 laps. It's a
Okay.
pretty small pool, so it's probably 10 minutes to 20 minutes of swimming.
That's good exercise too. We have a public pool down the street here, and like I'm not for much for being raw about public pools, but it's just down the street, and it's something I'm considering.
It's a good resource for me because I walk and I swim. So walking is good for lower body, swimming is good for upper body because normally I don't get upper body exercise, so that really helps strengthen my arms and my back muscles. So that feels good. Feels healthy. My goal is to be healthy in retirement.
There you go. Yes, I think a lot of us need to be that way for
I,
sure.
I'm not training for a marathon or some kind of competition, but man, when I get to the point where I can retire, I want to have a healthy body so I can go out and do fun stuff.
There you go.
Okay, so the next 3 days, you're going to meditate and journal or write affirmations, whatever works for you. And then at the end of those 3 days, you get to check in with yourself and decide, is this working? Do I want to do it for another 3 days? Do I want to do it for the next 7 days? Is this not enough time? Do I want to change it to 10 minutes? Or this isn't working. I want to go back to watching the news. Whatever you decide at that time. And if you're not sure, you can ask the universe, you can ask your higher power, you can ask your higher self for clarity.
I'm so excited.
Yay! Well, thank you so much. We'll check in again after you're done with that, after your POW, as we say here in Hawaii, and see what progress you've made.
Thank you, Lucky. I really appreciate your help with this.
Yay! You're welcome. Bye. I gave Sherry an easy homework assignment because she deserves to be successful. You set the bar too high because underneath your ambition lies a belief that you're not good enough. You fall short of your impossible goal, then you beat yourself up for not being good enough. Step out of that harmful cycle by setting doable goals, then celebrating your accomplishment. Then set another small goal. You can reach that pie in the sky by taking baby steps and celebrating yourself along the way. Although pie, forget that. I don't eat sugar and I don't eat flour. Maybe papaya in the sky. Yes, that's what it's going to be. Papaya in the sky. All right, part 2 starts right now. Aloha, Sherry. So good to see you.
Hello, Lucky. It's awesome to see you too.
Yay. I would love to start off today with us each sharing a small, kind moment of pleasure. Tell me, what's just some teeny tiny little thing that happened that just felt good to you recently?
The love of my kitty. She just comes on me and just lays there. And
Oh,
she'll do little massaging on you.
I love it. Does she lay on your belly or on your shoulder or on your
Just wherever she can find a spot. Usually on my side right here, or on my lap.
Very good. I can see how that would feel snugly, pleasurably good. Yes, I love it.
What about you?
My pleasurable moment yesterday was a breeze on my face. I
Nice.
very often work in the morning on thinking things, laptop things, and then in the afternoon, I move my body. And sometimes in the afternoon here, it gets pretty hot, and I was afraid that where I was going to walk, it was going to be hot. I was determined to do it anyway, and it was lovely. There was a lovely breeze, and it felt nice.
So awesome.
Yes.
Well, and you're in Hawaii too, so the air is different and everything.
Yes. Yes. So any time of year can be hot, definitely in the afternoon, but had a nice breeze on my face that felt good. Let's dive into today's work. Last time we talked about lowering stress by developing a 5-minute daily ritual, a couple of minutes journaling, a couple of minutes sitting quietly. I am curious how that has been unfolding for you.
This last week I failed.
What? Tell me about
I
it.
failed. I only got 3 days on my notes. So I write my agenda on notes, and I have up till the 8th, and I stopped
Mhm.
because I've just been I got a new client, And then one of my clients is bringing me new clients. And then I'm getting into the University of Oregon, or trying to. So I had to submit that application. And there's just a lot of things that have been going on. So I need to be, this coming week, need to make a diligent effort that this is what I do.
First of all, congratulations on your new clients. Woohoo! So you got in 3 times of meditation and journaling. Am I here?
Yes.
And I also want to congratulate you on that, because if I remember right, before we talked, you had 0, and now you're up to 3.
3.
3 is a start. And Sherry, I bless you so much for sharing about this quote unquote failure, because in my opinion, any movement forward is a success. That's what I'm afraid of when I am thinking about starting something new, starting something that I'm not good at, or restarting something that I tried and didn't do successfully in the past. I'm afraid of not doing it very well. So it's easy to just not do it at all. And you did it, and you made progress, and now you know, hey, I did 3 times. I'm going to try it again.
Because it does help. It did on the 3 occasions that I did this and did my workout. Awesome days.
Very good. So tell me about your 3 times. You set your timer for 5 minutes, you journaled, you meditated. Where did you sit? Tell me about that, one or all of those experiences.
So once in bed, before I even got up and really did a whole lot, I was awake and I went ahead and meditated for the 3 minutes, and I wrote for 2. And that kind of just really was a paradigm shift into focusing for the day. So instead of just la la la, what am I going to do today? I actually woke up with a plan, right? A plan of action. So that one, and then the other 2 were downstairs on the couch. I just sat there got my cup of coffee and went and sat on the couch and did the meditating for 3 minutes, and then I did writing for 2. And while that set a stage for focus, I think having been up and walking around kind of like messed up my shift, right? So I think if I just lay in bed before I even get up and I do that, because I journal on my phone. So if I just lay there and do the meditating and get some vision, and then take that vision and journal it for 2 minutes, it sets up a much clearer foundation for the rest of the day.
Perfect. You are discovering what works for you. That's amazing.
Yes, you're amazing.
I'll just tell you what to do. You're the one doing the work. So
that was so helpful.
I'm so glad. And Sherry, I'm excited to see how this one shift in your thinking, one shift in your habits can be life-changing over time. If you just do 3 times and quit and never do it again, it might not be life-changing.
No.
But it sounds like you're working towards working this into your daily routine.
So my question for you would be, how do you not brush it off?
Hold on a sec. We're taking a break. Do you like the ideas in my podcast? The wellness tools that seem awesome if you ever actually got around to trying them in your life? Your mind is ready for greatness. Your heart is ready to soar, but your feet are stuck in the mud of everyday life. Lucky for you, I am a personal coach specializing in getting my clients unstuck. I can offer you, as my lovely and imperfect client, accountability so you actually do the things on your self-improvement to-do list. And I offer you support, aka victory dances, you and me, every week, boogieing down. To inquire about This is way too much fun, I'm just telling you. Okay, here we go. Back to it. To inquire about working with me as your coach, message me through my site, wellnesswithlucky.com. When I receive your message, I will call you and we will talk on the phone. If we decide that we want to team up, then you and I will create a doable and fun plan for you to step into your dream life. Watch out, awesomeness. Here we come.
So my question for you would be, how do you not brush it off? So when you get up and if meditation and journaling is what you do in the morning, on days that you might be busy and you're like, oh, well, I'll get it later. How do you refocus yourself and say no? Because a lot of it's discipline. When I was working out every single day, 5 days a week, an hour to 2 hours a day, that was discipline. I had to make myself do it. How do you do this? How do you discipline yourself to not brush it away?
Write reminders. Before you go to bed, write a post-it note or write a note in your phone and stick it on top of your phone or stick it right next to where you sleep on your nightstand. So the very first thing, the very last thing that you think about before you go to sleep is, I get to wake up and spend 5 minutes nourishing myself. And then
That's a
the
good
very
idea.
first thing you do when you wake up, you see that note right there.
Awesome. Great idea. That's fabulous.
And when you complete the task, you give yourself kudos, you pat yourself on the head, say, good job, Sherry, I did 5 minutes. And then you get to build on that success.
Cool. Okay. I should send you report cards.
I like it. And maybe 3 times a week is a good start for you. Maybe you can work towards every day. I don't know. I'm not sure what works for you, but maybe right now with your busy schedule and you're new at this, you could just start with 3 times a week and you give yourself permission. 4 times a week you wake up and you decide, I don't feel like it, I want to get out of bed. That's one of your pass days. I'm taking a pass. You get 4 passes a week, 3 days a week, you start on it right away. If that feels like a good fit, if it feels like a better fit to really just try to start this every day, up to you.
Yeah, it's kind of like, but don't beat yourself up if you don't get to do it.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
The lunchbox analogy. So what happens is somebody walks out of their house and they forgot their lunch and they don't realize it till they get to work. They're mad at themselves for having forgotten something that they needed. So if you're no longer mad at yourself and you give yourself grace, then you will not forget so often.
I like it.
Is That's the idea,
I like it. And then you get to have that lunch as an after school snack.
right?
Might
I
take,
always used it as an excuse to go buy lunch.
there we go. And the name of the podcast is Quiet Your Mind Chatter. Did you notice any difference in that
Yes.
mind chatter?
That
Tell me about that.
that's what makes it so awesome. That's what makes your methodology here so stellar. Is that it giving you a focus and giving you a forward motion. You like I continuously get myself stuck in doing 7 different things at once. No one can do 7 different things at once. I'm sorry, no matter how hard you try. I've tried, it doesn't happen. So it allows you to offer yourself some space to do one thing at a time.
And moving forward, I suggest that you stick with this 5 minutes a day, possibly forever. Maybe this works for
Yeah.
you, and this is all that you need. After 6 months of doing this or a year doing this, and you're really in the habit of waking up and taking your 5 minutes as a spiritual practice every day or 3 days a week. And then after that, you can reassess and decide, this isn't still working for me. I'm going to change it. I'm going to double it to 10 minutes. Or maybe it's going to change and you're going to want to have your coffee and do it with your cat on your lap. Or I don't know what it'll be. Maybe you'll add 5 minutes before you go to bed. So just start with this. Maybe this is going to work for you forever. It might change down the road, but you can be open to possibilities.
I think 5 minutes before bed is a fabulous idea because that gives you time to space. It's like a divider space in between your life and you get a better night's sleep because your brain is clear, right?
One of my spiritual teachers shared with me a technique that builds resilience. When you go to bed, journal about 3 things that went well that day.
Okay.
A lot of times during the day, we're in problem solving mode and we solve a problem. And when we can, we celebrate that we found a solution. Sometimes I'm guilty of just moving on to the next problem. And then I get to the end of the day and I think, God, I have 16 problems that I have unresolved.
Right. But how many did you fix?
Yes, so just 3 things, and it could be really small, seemingly small things, such as I went for a walk and the breeze felt good on my face. Yes, that went
Yeah.
really well.
We want big things, but the little things count too.
Yes.
They're
Yep,
all part of our life.
absolutely. Any closing thoughts or questions?
Um, I did have a question for you, but it went away. So I'll have to think about that. But just the closing thought is moving forward, and thank you so much. I'm very grateful for this.
You're easy. I gave you a suggestion and you move forward with it, and you're, in my opinion, you are knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sherry. I'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, take care.
Okay.
I am so excited for Sherry. Developing a spiritual practice is going to change her life in so many ways I cannot even imagine. But I don't have to imagine, because I am privileged to be her personal coach. I get to watch this first 5 minutes practice take root in her schedule and grow and bloom over the coming months. If you've been looking for something to change your life, start here. For the next 5 days, dedicate the first 5 minutes of your day to something spiritual. Maybe for you, it's strumming your guitar, or reading a poem, or reading the Bible. Try it out. It might calm your mind and change your whole day. Until next time, I wish you aloha, and I bless you with love. If you received an insight from today's episode, yes, I love that. I love when God helps you through me. Woo! My favorite. Review this podcast and share it on social media, blessing others with wellness tools to quiet their mind chatter. To inquire about me, Lucky, becoming your personal coach, message me through my site, wellnesswithlucky.com.